Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. The Roman philosopher Seneca once said that, and I'm saying this. Welcome to High and Low. Good day and good night. Welcome back to the High and Low NBA show. I'm Ike Amaechi, and yes, we're back. It's been a minute, long enough for the NBA to hand out generational contracts, mint a few new villains, and rebrand load management into mental preservation. Today, we're not tiptoeing back in. We're diving straight into the deep end. I've got the full crew with me. You go the Sheik, Sir Mitch of House Orsatti, a.k.a. Mitch Orsatti, the guest Stephen Leslie, and of course, the people's champ, Sean Khan. Now, the league's in a strange place. It's louder than ever. Social feeds buzzing, highlight reels are looping, but somehow the noise feels hollow. Everybody's talking about the NBA, but fewer people are actually watching it. So tonight, we're going to peel that back. What's really happening with the game, the culture, the business behind it. That's what we do here. We're kicking things off by asking the big question. Who's the real face of the NBA right now? Is it Luka? Is it Shai? Is it Wemby? Is it Ant? Or have we entered an era where the league doesn't belong to any one man anymore? Then we'll lean into a little honesty with hard truths. The stuff NBA fans don't want to hear, but probably need to. And finally, we'll talk about the noise, how the NBA became the most talked about league in the world, while somehow losing the attention of the people who used to sit down and actually watch the games. We've got a lot to get into, so before we lock in, let me check in.
Oh, hi. Thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage.
Welcome back to the table, gentlemen. It's been a while. It's been a long while. Shoot, last time we talked, I believe, Joe Biden was still the president of the United States. Justin Trudeau was still the prime minister of Canada. Mm-hmm. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander wasn't a champion yet. He wasn't even an MVP yet. Lots of things have happened, man. But what's been going on? How you guys been?
Still alive, man. Still alive.
That's when you know you've reached a certain age, man. It's like when people are like, "How you been, man? How you doing?" Ooh, still alive, man.
Still alive.
Still have my health.
Still alive. Still have my health. Still have whatever bits of my sanity left.
There you go.
The white people, the white people version of that, by the way, is living the dream. That's what they say if they're not doing well.
Whose man is this?
I hear that at least 7 times a week. Living the dream.
You're in bad company, my friend.
I know.
Yeah. And all the kids are screaming out 6'7", 6'7".
Oh my goodness. I've told my kids you can't do that because I know the origins.
Does that work?
Not good. It's not good.
Yes. So. I digress. That's for the kids to deal with. I'm sure when you were screaming on NWA lyrics and whatnot, your parents were thinking the same thing.
Yeah, my parents completely different. Completely different. They didn't care. They didn't care, man. Mitch, how you been?
Man, I've been good. Good job, good family, good friends. Therapy's working. Go to therapy if you're not going to therapy.
Yes.
Look at that.
It's good
That's
for you.
Good.
I did it. Still
did? You should keep it up.
It's the past tense. Did?
Exactly. My new therapy is Curb Your Enthusiasm clips on Instagram.
Terrible idea.
It's a great one. I got to talk to you about the chat and cut.
Watching Curb Your Enthusiasm usually puts things into perspective for most people. Because I think when you watch an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm, you just think to yourself, I mean, what am I complaining about? Could be worse. I could be Larry David.
Whoa. What did you just say to me?
Listen, some of the stuff he does on that show, I've actually thought about it. So I don't feel bad.
Okay. Let me take that back then. Stephen, the guest, Stephen Leslie, man, how you been?
Good. I don't believe in therapy, but I had a child. So I'm a dad now since we've cut the podcast.
You're already a dad.
Okay, so I guess I was already a dad last time.
Yeah.
Unless you did it again.
You know, I can't even say that, but whatever. My child's 1. Is that better?
Yeah.
It's better, yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Been living 12 months.
Look at that. And still here.
Still here.
Still sane. You still watch basketball.
Yeah, still do.
Yeah.
When you got a top team in a big market, you got to watch.
Oh, here
you got to know what's going on.
Just jumped right into it.
When you got 2 of the top 5 white NBA players in the league, you got to stay connected.
No. Hold on a second. Clarify that with white American players.
What do you mean white American? We got 2 of the
Oh,
top
you were talking
5
about Austin
whites.
Reeves, right? No, you don't.
But he's one.
No way.
He's
Austin
one,
Reeves
and then you have
no way. Austin's
Luka's
not a
the
top
other.
5 white.
Oh,
Okay. And then LeBron, I guess? Or like, what's going on here? I didn't even know you guys had that many players on your team.
LeBron's not white. I'm talking about white guys right now.
Steven, I have a question for you, man.
Yeah.
Answer the question, please.
As a Laker fan, did you feel torn when the Blue Jays had to face off against the Dodgers, who are like a de facto sort of, the baseball team for all Lakers fans?
No, so the thing is, I know the Dodgers owner just bought the Lakers, so it's like the affiliation is tighter there. But I believe he also owns the Rams, and I'm a Seahawks fan, so I hate the Rams. Don't really care about baseball, but like the Lakers. So this is a weird cycle thing that I'm going through right now. So I don't know how to feel.
So you felt nothing during the Blue Jays run?
Well, he doesn't go to therapy. Of course he feels nothing.
Thank you. Thank you, Mitch. We like that.
The man was stoic.
Exactly.
Same expression through the whole series.
I feel anything. Let me tell you what I felt. Blue Jays wasted my time. Game 6, Game 7, waste. Guys just leaving guys on the bases. I don't even know baseball, and I know you just need 1 run to win it, and you couldn't do it.
Yeah. Actually, I can't hate on that one, man. They had their chances.
And as I used to say, this is not a baseball podcast, so cut it.
Speaking of
basketball podcast, Sean he's here. He's here. He's with us, for various reasons, most technical. He's not able to say something right now. So we'll check in with Sean in a moment. But hey, you go, Mitch, Steven, and Sean. Appreciate your time this week. Thank you for joining me. And listeners, thank you for joining us. I hope you're enjoying the new NBA season. It's a weird one. The Detroit Pistons are in first place. It's crazy. Weren't they dead last in 2023?
Yeah, I remember we were making fun of them because they had 5 forwards.
Insane.
Where are you going to play them? No point guard?
Wow. Things turn around, man. Anyway, thank you for joining me for a surprising installment of the show. Another week, another episode, more NBA. So, of course, more high and low. I used to have this stuff memorized. This week in NBA history, the game didn't change on the court. It changed on your TV screen. On November 10th, 1989, NBA signed a $600 million broadcast deal with NBC, ending its longtime partnership with CBS. At the time, $600 million was a record-breaking number, a bet that basketball could be more than a sport, it could be entertainment, and NBC delivered. With that deal came the soundtrack of a generation. I don't know if you guys remember this? John Tesh's Round Ball Rock? You can hear it.
Of course. It's the best theme song of all time.
Love it.
No idea what you're talking about.
Oh, man. It's a theme that still gives anyone that's a basketball fan goosebumps.
Is that the one in the 80s with the NBC, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know it had a name. I thought it was just a regular kind of jingle thing. Okay, sorry. Okay, I know what you're talking about. Okay.
Round Ball Rock. Yeah, so suddenly Sunday afternoons weren't just about the game, they were about the event. The Chicago Bulls, the New York Knicks, the Lakers, the Sonics, they all became primetime characters in America's favorite basketball drama. It wasn't just a broadcast deal, it was basketball's Hollywood debut. The cameras were crisper, the storytelling tighter, the stars brighter. NBC didn't just show games, it sold the NBA as a global brand, setting the stage for Jordan, Shaq, Barkley, Dream Team era, and it just turned basketball into a worldwide phenomenon. Fast forward to today, 35 years later, and the league is right back at the negotiating table, only now it's Amazon and Apple instead of NBC and CBS. Back then, they were trying to get people to watch basketball. Now they're fighting to get people to watch anything for longer than 15 seconds. Parallels are wild. Same product, different medium. The NBA found its voice through network television, and now it's trying to find its rhythm in the age of streaming, clips, and chaos. But yeah, we'll continue to talk about that. I think it'll come up later. That's a little something for the NBA history nerds. We've been away for a bit, but we're picking up right where we left off. No listener questions this week. Shaking off the dust, stretching the mics, getting back into game shape. Quick reminder to High and Low Lives. If you want to leave a question for us to answer on the show, send your DM to us on TikTok at More High and Low, or on Instagram at Get High and Low. And, let's take a quick break. We're going to iron out some technical details. When we come back, Hugo, Mitch, Steven, Sean, they're here. We're going to be talking about why this NBA season already feels like a movie. Why some fans still haven't bought a ticket. This is the High and Low NBA show.
Okay, next, what's his name? With his back to me.
And we are back. I'm Ike Amaechi, and this is the High and Low NBA show. I'm here with Mitch, Steven, Sean, Hugo. Everyone seems to be good. No technical issues. Sean, we didn't get a chance to say what's up to you in the last segment. Just so that they know you're alive, you can just say what's up.
What's up, everybody? I've been in recovery mode after that heartbreaking defeat from my Blue Jays in Game 7 of the World Series. I don't even really want to talk about it, to be honest. I'm still not ready. Might need to see Mitch's therapist, but getting over it.
Good thing you brought it up.
And glad to be back.
So Sean is alive, barely, after that crushing defeat. But hey, this is a basketball podcast. Anyway, this is the High and Low NBA show.
Let's talk about something important.
It used to be easy. There was Jordan. He was the global icon. Then you had Kobe, the assassin. And then we had LeBron, the chosen one. You didn't have to think about it. The NBA told you who the face of the league was. But now, it's chaos in a good way. You've got Luka breaking defenses with the grace of a drunk ballerina. Got Shai moving like water in silk pajamas. You got Wemby making 7-footers look undersized. And of course, you got Ant talking like he's already on Mount Rushmore. The league's got more faces than a deck of cards. But here's the question. Do we even need one face of the NBA anymore? Or has the league finally become a true ensemble cast? So let's start there. Steven, I'll throw this to you first. If you had to pick one player to be the face of the league right now, the one guy who represents the league the best, who are you putting on the billboard?
So some key factors that we look for in an MVP is marketability. And the player that I think is MVP, they came into the NBA with a lot of hype as a coveted top pick. And in a short career, they've been performing amazing. They're also European, so that billboard that you speak of, it reaches different demographics, Europe and in North America. And when you check the key MVP ladder, they're always on it weekly. They command attention from multiple fan bases, and people love them. And coming in, averaging 40, 11, and 9, it's Luka Doncic. That's the NBA's MVP.
He's the face of the league.
100%.
Okay.
He's even getting other GMs fired for getting rid of him. Like who else could do that? Jeez. You got other fan bases crying that you left. Then you have other fan bases crying that they traded you in the draft night. Then you have other fan bases happy that you're on their team. It's just full circle. And he's having fun. He's slim.
For now.
He's slim.
So nice you had to say it twice.
He needed to override my comment.
Yeah. Well, listen, he did lose the weight, and that was one of the complaints is why they didn't want to give him the money in Dallas. So fair is fair.
I don't know if that was a complaint, but whatever. You want to weight shame a guy who's top 5 and brought you to the finals? That's weird to me. But okay, whatever.
Who's weight shaming?
Their ex-GM weight shamed him.
Yeah, there was a lot of he was eating healthy, drinking beers.
Yeah, you see, they grabbed the beer from him when he just brought you to the NBA Finals. So hello,
this is true. Yeah,
and then they said he wasn't going to commit himself to have a better body. So that's why they were hesitant to give him that money.
Is it wrong that I forgot that they were in the NBA Finals?
Yeah.
Who'd they lose to? Because I forgot who won.
That's even worse.
No, seriously, who'd they lose to? It's obviously a team from the East.
Boston.
Yes.
Ew,
Boston, man.
That's why. Yeah, we don't talk about Boston on this.
Oh, man. We are out of practice. Hey, Sean, I got a question for you. Is there one face of the NBA anymore? Or, like I mentioned before, is this now an ensemble cast?
So I guess I'm going to answer your question with a question. Is there not one face of the NBA because there isn't one player that's separated themselves far enough from the rest? Or is it a product of the talent pool being more loaded across the board? In perfect fence-sitting fashion, I'm going to say it's a bit of a combination of the two, but I am leaning towards the former. I think it's. I've always said that it's the best way to compare players from different eras is to determine how far they have separated themselves from the competitors. With this in mind, no one's really done that since, I guess, LeBron in his prime, 15-year prime. I think the guys knocking on the door are who you mentioned. It's the Lukas, the Jokic, SGA, Giannis, Ant, and I think now Wemby obviously has joined that conversation. The GOATs like Jordan, Kareem, and LeBron, I think they all kind of changed the way people perceived athletes and changed the game in some facet. You could say LeBron didn't really change the game, but we've never really seen a player of his size with a combination of ball skills, court vision, and explosiveness. He's one of one in that aspect in NBA history. But I think if anyone has a chance to do it, it's Wemby right now. I think, it's very obviously super early to tell, but he seems like a unicorn in the way he plays the game and with his skill set, obviously. I think right now it's definitely an ensemble cast, but I believe that ship has sailed for guys like Jokic to take up that mantle. I think as good as Giannis is, we all know what his ceiling is now. It's super high, but it's not, for the purpose of the context of the conversation, face of the NBA echelon. I think we need to see more consistency with Ants. We can't give up on SGA to be in that convo, and definitely Wemby is showing signs, but currently I don't feel comfortable giving any one player that title.
So we've mentioned some of the same names over and over again here in this conversation. But Mitch, who do you trust to carry the league when LeBron finally hangs it up? Because we're getting to that point. It's coming soon.
It's tough because I think I'm with the whatever side of Sean is that's sitting on the fence around no one player really carrying the league. I think really, if I were to put a billboard up, it's probably Shai today just because he's got no off-court bullshit. He's got a smooth game. He's got drip. He cares for his teammates. He doesn't complain about fouls like someone else's number one.
He's got free throws.
Well, like Luka does not. Anyways, so yeah, this is a bit of a tough one. Luka yaps too much. Ant has way too much off-court stuff. Sean mentioned Wemby as a possibility, and I agree, skill and age-wise, he could carry the league. But with him, I don't get company man from him, I don't really think he cares about the NBA. I think he cares about winning and he cares about basketball, but I don't think he cares really to be the face of anything. Sean also mentioned Jokic and Giannis. I agree there. It's too late. And that's kind of it, right? There's some young guys who might fit that bill one day, maybe Flag, maybe Harper, but it's way too early. So I think it's just like a meritocracy at this point.
It doesn't feel like an ensemble cast then.
It feels like trading shots,
Yeah. If that's the case, does being the face of the league still mean the same thing it did in the Jordan or LeBron era? You go. What do you think of that? Is it that important?
Yes and no, which is a bit of fence sitting. So The way I look at it is like this. So, during the Jordan era, with Commissioner Stern really cleaning up the league and making it a professional league, right? Cleaning up all the, drugs, alcohol, and all the, the other foolishness that used to take place back then. And when you had Jordan, he was just perfect, perfect for TV, perfect for that big basketball reset. Like, this is what greatness is. This will be, the first coming of Jesus, so to speak, right?
Did you hear that?
But then when
I believe the first coming of Jesus was Jesus, by the way.
Yeah, well,
the second coming.
Well, if you ask some basketball fans, Jesus came after Jordan. But I digress.
The first coming of Jesus. That's what you want a t-shirt.
There you go, man. But LeBron, it was a little bit more of a shift into, heavy into TV, heavy in the marketing. He has the numbers, the stats, the number of years of greatness. I wouldn't really say over the last 5 years, to be honest with you, but he is, head and shoulders, the most recognizable of all of them for the longest period of time, even though he didn't necessarily dominate his era. Quiet shout out to Mr. Steph Curry, the chef. Now, I feel like it's almost every year we're talking about somebody taking the mantle, right? I remember a couple of years ago we were saying, Ja, Luka, even Paul George at some point in time, Embiid, the guy, I like to poop on all the time. SGA had a great season last year. He did something that only Jordan and I think Shaq ever did, right? Scoring champion, MVP, finals champion. Right? Am I correct on that? Right?
Let's not quote you on that, but yeah, something like that.
Okay. And he's Canadian. Shout out to Canadians. But would we consider him the face of the league? Right? I still see Zion products being sold everywhere. And I still wonder to myself, who is he?
What do you see of Zion being sold?
Man, I see Zion socks, shorts, shirts, like the whole, like... Dude, you don't understand, man. There's still Zion stuff out there, and I'm like, hasn't this train
in
passed?
Winners? You see it in Winners. It's because it's
there too, and Marshalls, yes. Still, it's out there. You know what I mean? But it's still out there. Like, there's so much of it. I'm like, wow. You know what I mean? Like, this new NBA, it's all social media. It's all, different flavors of ice cream. All of them contribute, but no one part is greater than any other part, right? Maybe it helps to make it more interesting for the league that you don't necessarily have that dominant team like you used to have in the past. Now, parity is the thing, but we'll see. I mean, Silver's got his hands full, right? He's going to have to try to sell this game and sell this product. And I don't know, maybe these younger fans, they look at the NBA very differently than we do. But there's definitely no point in saying you are the leader of the league because that could change on a weekly basis.
You know what's funny? The NBA might not even need a chosen one anymore, to your point. I mean, it's a league full of characters, basically. I mean, you got heroes, you got villains, you got poets, you got meme lords. But I don't know, maybe that's the beauty of it. The face of the league is whoever your algorithm decides it is that day.
But see, NBA has a problem to me because, like Messi, Ronaldo, the NFL, they had Tom Brady always going after Manning. The NBA needs a villain. They need a bad guy, good guy, whether it's the same like in the Western Conference or one in the West, one in the East. But they're always trying to make it one person, and you need to be good outside, inside, no drama. Like, why? Like, just make it come naturally. And you have Ant. He has his problems outside. He's a killer sometimes in the game. Bang, that's one. And then you have your goody two shoes on the other side. I don't know why it has to be like this cookie cutter model that they
Ant
want.
can't be your
That's
face of the league. I'm sorry, he
But
can't.
listen
be
to
your
what
face
I'm
of the league.
But I
saying.
mean,
It can't-
to Steven's point, yeah, he can, but they're choosing to homogenize everything, right? Like I think that's just like corporate branding at all at this point, right? Like you can't have any kind of risk.
I think they try to sanitize everything as opposed to letting a player just be who they are, right? So, I mean, if Ant wants to be a villain, if you want to give it a tag or if you want to put him in a category, by all means, like even Ja, like Ja is a disaster. Ja is a disaster.
That's a different level.
But you know what? Let him be a disaster. Listen, if he's not breaking the law, actually, maybe he'll break the law.
Yeah, we're on the line here.
But I'm just saying, like if you have a player who can produce like a John Morant, right, but gets into a little bit of trouble. Let's use Mikey Williams as an example, right? Well, he broke the law too. Okay, but let's just say Mikey Williams comes into the NBA. He goes, he's drafted, great player, but maybe he doesn't keep the best company. Maybe he's not towing the line. He's not the company man, right? The NBA has tried to sanitize and try to clean up the image of its top guys. And if they can't, then you kind of just get shoved to the side. But why not just go with it? Be the WWE where you have your faces and your heels.
Okay, but sorry, let me interject. I'll say this, and Mitch will probably agree with me.
Ooh,
that's a wild statement.
Jokic has probably been hands down best player over a 4 year span.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we say that?
Yeah.
He's not even the face of the league.
He doesn't want to be.
But that's because he doesn't want to.
Okay, but like this man's putting up numbers and wins and exciting games, and it's like,
yeah, but he's not doing all the other stuff, right? You need to
I get you, right?
Stuff.
But it's weird, right? Like always in the MVP conversation, he basically could have been a 4-time MVP. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. You know what I mean? But like even he's not considered the face of your league, right?
Yeah. I mean, well, whatever.
Anyway, let's move on before.
He's face of Denver.
Yeah, exactly. he's Mr. Colorado. Let's move on before Wemby's wingspan stretches across another debate. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're getting uncomfortable. Uncomfortable. This is a High and Low NBA show.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the High and Low Basketball Show, or the High and Low NBA Show. Depends on who you are. I'm Ike Amaechi, and I'm here with Steven, Sean, Mitch, and Hugo. It's time for one of my favorite topics, hard truths. This is where we take off the rose-colored fan goggles and say the quiet parts out loud. The stuff NBA fans might want to hear. Actually, the stuff that NBA fans might not want to hear, but probably need to hear. You see, basketball conversations are easy when you're talking about MVP races or trade rumors, but when you dig a little deeper, that's when things get real. We're talking about uncomfortable realities. The players we overrate because we like their stories. The teams we hype up just because of their market size, Steven. Or the myths we keep alive because they make us feel nostalgic. And look, I'll admit it. Some of these truths might sting. They might even start a fight in the group chat, but that's what makes this fun. So you go. I can already tell you've got one locked and loaded. What's one hard truth about the NBA that the basketball community just isn't ready to hear? Come on. Hit us with it. Let's go.
Your product is not very good for TV. The games take too long to get through. Your stars or your players are doing too much flopping and head tossing and all that stuff. Sometimes I feel like it's like one of those old school Mad Skills Nod Factor songs that they're listening to in their head. Wow. But on TV, it's not a good product, and there's no stories anymore. At least back in the day, we used to have storylines that you can get into, but now it's just guys running around shooting hoops, commercials, timeouts, trying to make decisions on stuff that, should take 2 to 3 seconds, but ends up taking like 3 minutes. And you have to call into New York for some guy with a rule book to tell you this is what it should be, and still doesn't make any sense. I'm not even going to get into the gambling stuff, but your product is not very good. I used to think you were a solid number 2 in the sport next to football, and I don't think anybody's ever going to get to touch football. But I'll be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if hockey or baseball surpasses you in the next 2 to 3 years.
Wow.
What did you say?
Mm-hmm.
Hockey.
Mm-hmm. I said it.
Love when you goes wrong. Missed this.
And just right on cue, Mitch.
Yeah. So mine isn't like Hugo's at all. Sorry. Mine is that as much as you might dislike the NBA Cup for its horrid courts and shoehorned importance, my take is that it's here to stay. The NBA has invested way too much into it for it to fail, so they're going to keep shoving it down our throats. And for the record, I loathe it. Who cares? Who asked for it? Nobody.
Pause.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Yep. That seems like a good place to stop talking.
Yeah. Minnesota's court was killing my eyes, man. That was rough.
So bad. It's so bad across, a lot. I think it's just like not well thought out. They rushed it. And again, no one was asking for it. It's not the Champions League. Move on.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, Steven, what's your hard truth?
Listen, the product's just watered down. The commissioner said it's a highlight league, and when you look around and see different highlights or different stats, sometimes I'm like, oh, this guy, or oh wow, that guy. Like the other day I saw that the Phoenix Sun franchise record holder for most threes in a game is Grayson Allen. I'm like, what?
Oh my gosh.
NBA's been on for a long time. What do you mean Grayson Allen has 10 threes? Like, why do you even have the opportunity to shoot enough threes to get 10 in? Like, you shouldn't be doing that. You know what I mean? So it is a highlight league. So it's, as Hugo said before, what? Poo-pooing on, man?
That's going to keep coming back to you.
There you go. It's going to be a meme, and then I'll make money off of it.
That's not how it works.
That's not happening yet.
Damn.
Ooh, Sean in the chat, Sean said hockey is the most played sport in the world.
Second
most.
And nobody cares.
Damn.
All right. Well, on that note, Sean, why don't you jump in and tell us what your hard truth is?
So I got to say, I agree with everything you guys said about the sport or the game being watered down, especially in the NBA. But I'm going to go in a bit of a different direction. I think we have to come to the really uncomfortable realization that gambling and game fixing are very real issues in professional basketball. If you know me, I've always pushed back on the idea that NBA seasons are scripted or driven by major conspiracies. But lately, my stance on that is shifting. We've seen referees serve jail time for fixing games. Now we're seeing players being charged. So where's it going to end? More importantly, what is Adam Silver going to do about it? It kind of reminds me of a bit of how the NFL handled the concussion and CTE crisis a few years ago. It's like denial, deflection, discrediting evidence. While the situation is obviously different, the NBA's decision to clear Rozier before the FBI stepped in doesn't exactly inspire confidence in me. Silver's saying all the right things publicly, but the underlying tone feels like damage control. It's really hard to shake the sense that the league wants this to disappear quietly, to really protect the image, the business, and most of all, the gambling revenue that's now deeply intertwined with the sport. I think at some point the NBA is going to have to choose either to protect the integrity of the game or protect the profits that are quietly eroding it.
How long does it go before Adam Silver gets fired over this?
Thank you. Well, just in
Yeah.
general.
He won't get fired.
He's the problem. He's weak.
He won't get fired. It has to go up to a
It's the
quote
word
unquote
of
superstar level. It has to go to a superstar level for it to be for them to do something about it. Right now, you're just hearing low level guys doing it. It has to be like a LeBron.
Yeah, but like Sean was saying, like this is just this like tip of the iceberg possibly here, right? Like we're not seeing everything. So Sean, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think there's a lot more that's going to be uncovered or going to be hidden in the near future. Obviously, we don't have any evidence or proof of anything, but I mean, we all saw like Chauncey Billups. Obviously, that wasn't a match fixing scandal, but there was a lot of other ex NBA players that were involved in that gambling ring. So I think there's this culture of, maybe it's not gambling, but whatever you want to call it, match fixing. And there was a reason why betting on basketball was like banned in most major markets for decades. It's too easy to fix the games. So I think combine that with like the temptation and, players having money issues and getting caught up with the wrong people potentially. I think there's always going to be potential for this. And I'm not sure how they're going to police it. I feel like, I don't know. The police are going to police it, but how deep does it go? I think we're going to find out.
I think it's very difficult to unravel because the NBA relies on gambling quite a bit in terms of revenue. It's a massive revenue source for the league. Like their main revenue source, which has been broadcast, that's going to start to depreciate. Right? I know we've seen massive numbers, and I know I just talked about it in the NBA history segment, but they rely on this. Maybe the solution isn't going to be discovered under Adam Silver. Maybe he's the one that needs to go. But yeah, this is going to be a difficult one.
He does. Adam Silver's been weak. There's a reason why I don't want to compare NFL to NBA, but the commissioners, Roger Goodell, every draft day gets booed. Adam Silver does not get booed. You should not like your boss's boss.
Mm-hmm.
The fans should not be liking it because he's weak. With the gambling stuff, Roger Goodell said, yo, if you even try to sign in at a practice facility, you're suspended. Guys have tried it with different names, suspended a whole season.
Well,
just by giving a little information. You tell me Rozier got cleared by the NBA and then FBI had to come in, and then other people, like the NBA, it's just a joke. Everyone knows they can joke around with this commissioner, so they'll get away with murder.
But these
and people have got away with murder, actually.
But the owners that own the teams, the franchises are more expensive and more valuable than ever. So
that's fine.
I don't see them getting rid of them because of that.
They're not profiting getting because of the commissioner.
He's not the direct draw of revenue.
Yeah.
Okay, but he's not the cause for them okay.
He might be if this keeps.
So he has a certain level of influence, but if the franchises are at their highest value ever, there's no reason for them to get rid of him.
But I think that's just a product of today's era and inflation and all that. I mean, like we saw David Stern.
It is what it is.
Stern got booed a hell of a lot at every draft. And we saw him grow the game internationally. That was his mark on the game. Adam Silver's mark is this NBA Cup that no one seems to care about and is not really growing the game at all. So what has he actually directly done to increase the revenues? I don't think he's done anything. I think it's just a matter of the time that he's been the commissioner. Like, it's just
he had the bubble.
Yeah.
Did he not clear the Kawhi stuff too? The company, just the company.
I think he did.
He did,
right? A long time when they caught him.
And then more things are coming out. This guy's an idiot.
Yeah. And Sean, you talked about Stern and how he grew the game internationally, because that's a great segue to my hard truth. The United States of America, they're no longer the center of the basketball world, as much as they like to think they are. Team USA can still roll out a starting five of all-stars who make like $500 million combined, but the rest of the world, they're just not scared anymore. The dream has worn off, and the nightmare belongs to America. The NBA used to be America's league with a few international guests. Now it's the other way around. Like, look at the last 5 MVPs: Jokic, Giannis, Embiid, SGA. Who else is there?
Now you got it.
Yeah. All born outside the U.S. borders. The best young players in the league, we mentioned Luka earlier, Wemby, SGA, all from somewhere else. Basketball isn't just exported anymore. It's been adopted, evolved, and in some ways perfected abroad. So while the U.S. was busy turning the game into entertainment, the rest of the world turned it into a craft. Fundamentals, team plays, skill over spectacle. It's not that American players aren't great. Like, I'm not trying to say that. They are. But the rest of the world is catching up. And in some areas, they've already passed them. So anyway, it's not about losing dominance. It's about evolution. You know, the world got the blueprint from the U.S., studied it, upgraded it, and now they're running the show. Maybe the real question isn't whether the U.S. is still the best at basketball. Maybe it's whether they still love it the same way the rest of the world does. I don't know. Just saying. All right. It's time for a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the NBA noise or the lack thereof. This is the High and Low NBA show. We'll be right back.
All right, you guys, what's next?
And we are back. This is the High and Low NBA show. I'm Ike Amaechi. I'm here with Sean, Hugo, Steven, Mitch. Here's the wild part. The NBA has never been more talked about. Every crossover, every quote, every tweet, every podcast moment turned into a 3-day news cycle. But while everyone's talking, fewer people are actually tuning in. Ratings are dipping, highlights are replacing games, and the league might have become a little too online for its own good. It's like we're all watching the NBA, just not on TV anymore. So what's the deal? Like, what's going on? Is this just how sports work in the streaming era, or has the league built an echo chamber so loud that the casual fan can't even hear the game anymore? So, Mitch, you're deep into the media world. You've seen how narratives shape the game. Has the NBA become too dependent on social media hype, or are we talking about the game more than we're actually watching the game?
100% we're talking about it more than we're watching, definitely. But I'll push back a little bit that I don't think, well, firstly, yes, way too reliant, but not just on social media. It's kind of media writ large. There's never-ending coverage from radio, never-ending talking head shows on TV, plus all the social media accounts that, farm clips and all that stuff, plus us, right? Like podcasts, so many like Netflix documentaries. It's too much that the game, I don't even think it's tertiary anymore. Like, you got highlights, you got narratives, you got drama. That's, I think, your top 3 things with the NBA. And then maybe watching the sport is 4th. Until the playoffs roll around. And then things kind of shift a little bit and we get into games. But that's a long time to really not give a shit.
Yeah. Yeah, the playoffs kind of move us into this illusion as if, the NBA is at least what the NBA should be, as opposed to what it actually is.
Mm-hmm.
One idea that other sport leagues do, the NBA should capitalize on, is rivalry week. And you just go against your rivals. Everyone for that.
I think, I don't know who was saying it earlier in the episode, but it's one of the things that's missing, right? Is like, you look back at like Larry and Magic, and maybe that's too far back to even have a comparison, but like you were saying too, Steven, you need a bad guy. Like, make me care about some other team other than my local team, other than them just like being a really great player. Give me some like purposeful narratives.
Yeah. So the NBA dominates social media. Mitch, you bring up a very good point. It's not just social media, it's also media, but TV ratings keep dropping. Is that just how the world consumes sports now, Sean?
I think we've discussed this like off the air many times. And the more I think about it, the more I realize like the total landscape of sports fandom has actually changed. That being said, I still tune into other sports the old-fashioned way through cable, full games, live broadcasts. But when it comes to the NBA, I personally just can't connect with it the way I did in the 90s and early 2000s. The product for me just feels different. It's less physical and frankly less entertaining. I also feel like the league has become overly soft. Plays that were once considered routine are now drawing like flagrant fouls and technicals. Players, I think, rarely attack the rim in the way they used to anymore. Instead, they're really content with like the drive and kick, for 48 minutes. I think there's also an issue of load management. That's kind of like a modern buzzword that's quietly eating away at the essence of competition. I think it feels like players are more often managing their careers instead of chasing greatness or chasing titles. I feel like the hunger that maybe at one point defined the league seems to have faded a bit. That being said, and to echo what you guys are saying, I feel like last year's playoffs and finals were a refreshing reminder of what the NBA can still be. The intensity, the underdog stories, the genuine emotion. I feel like it brought back kind of like the same feelings that I got when I was watching the NBA, 10, 15 years ago. In some aspects, it felt like the league has sort of rediscovered its soul in a way. But I mean, I feel like we're kind of getting into how it was like as this season's unfolding. I feel like the energy is slipping a bit again. And this could be a product of the time again, but I feel like the NBA seems more focused on creating viral moments than lasting memories. I feel like it's kind of like a TikTok generation sort of era, and that may fit the NBA's marketing strategy, but I feel like it might be alienating fans like myself. I feel like they're caring more about algorithms and engagement than actually putting an entertaining product together for 48 minutes. For me, I just miss what the NBA used to feel like, and the only way I can define that is basketball. I just miss basketball.
So while Sean is missing basketball, Steven, I have a question for you. Are we overanalyzing everything to the point where casual fans have checked out?
Casual fans are busy gambling on the game and on stats. There's no need to overanalyze the NBA anymore because, you're going to hit the over on threes more times than it will be a bust. I just saw Cade Cunningham was 14 for 45 the other day. What are you analyzing? Like, people are just doing whatever they want at this point. Just chucking. That's it. Goes in. If it doesn't, you get another attempt. Is it Mike Dunleavy? Is that his name? The coach for the Phoenix Suns back in the day? Mm-hmm. In Houston? He was right. Just keep running gun. Just go.
Or D'Antoni.
D'Antoni. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, D'Antoni. Just go running gun and chuck it, man. This game is it's good for casuals though. Like guys like you go still watch. So
Not that much. 14 seconds or less, you'll get a couple more shots.
7 seconds or less.
Is it 7? I thought it was 14.
Casual.
So Hugo, how much responsibility does the media, and when I say the media, I include podcasts like ours, how much responsibility do we have in shaping that fatigue?
Well, it's huge. Like, some of the folks on this podcast have alluded to it. Technology has changed the game, right? In the last 20 years, we've been able to consume this sport in so many different ways, from when it used to be radio, TV, and live, right? Or reading about it the next day in a newspaper, right? Something that happens in the NBA can be broadcasted across the world in less than 3 seconds. In this age of social media, where as long as you have an account, you have a voice, and you matter, and you can feed into the almighty algorithms, you can weave any narrative that you want to weave, right? You want to talk about basketball, talk about basketball. You want to talk about shoes, talk about shoes. There's an Instagram account that just follows NBA tattoos. You know what I mean? So, there's any infinite number of topics that anybody can talk about as it pertains to the NBA. And again, with technology, it enables everybody, right? We can sit here and talk about the game. And if our viewers consume it, then it matters. And if their viewers don't consume it, well, maybe somebody else will, take some of our clips and use it for their own broadcast or podcast or whatever you want to call it. And maybe their fans will consume it. So a lot of stuff gets regurgitated. A lot of stuff that we would never talk about 20 years ago is being talked about now. I mean, perfect example, Jaylen Brown and his rub-off hairline. I mean, we've been on this for like a week now, right? And back in the day, nobody would even give two craps about that.
I was wondering when someone would mention Jaylen Brown.
Yeah. Think about it. 20 years ago, you lose your hairline and just say, yo, guy, go bald. Now we're talking about guys doing spray paint hairlines.
No, they were doing it 20 years ago. Carlos Boozer.
Were they?
Yeah, he's not the OG.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, that was shoe shine, though, right? Like, they perfected the process since then.
I think it was inkjet printer, actually. I think that's
something like that. Permanent marker. I don't know what.
Yeah. So it's just we all bear the responsibility, but I don't think anybody cares. People want to have a podcast. They want to talk about something. They'll talk about something, and if they got 100 viewers, 200 viewers, their 10 best friends, they're more than happy.
It's a bit of a toxic situation, one of those toxic relationships. It's or maybe the snake eating its own tail. I don't know. Because the NBA thrives off of the discourse that is created in media, on podcasts, and also like the NBA feeds what is talked about in media and on these podcasts. So it's like, you remove one, then you can't have the other, or the other will suffer, right? Mm-hmm.
And think about this one too. NBA is the only sport or league that has an off season that people are still working and reporting and talking about stuff, right?
By design.
Yeah. Everybody else, every other sport, it's like, off season or championship's done. All right. See you in September. Yeah. See you in such and such. But these guys, like, we're talking about Zion in the lab or Kawhi's phantom companies and whatnot, right? Masai Ujiri getting fired and all this other stuff, right? And it makes the news. It hits the cycle. People consume it for a week, 2 weeks, a month, and then boom, the next thing pops in.
Yeah, at the end of the day, the NBA might be the only league that could trend for 3 days without anyone actually watching a game. And to your point, even in the off season, when there are no games being played, yet you'll have trending topics. That's both a flex and a flaw. Right? The league's biggest challenge isn't visibility, it's connection, in my opinion. Conversation's loud, but the product has to make people stop scrolling and actually just sit down and watch it. But hey, that's just me. Anyway, I'd love to keep talking about this stuff. We could talk about basketball for hours and hours, but we have lives to get back to. So as a result,
why the fuck I can't shoot 3-point shots?
That brings us to the end of this week's episode of the High and Low Basketball Podcast. We covered a lot. Face of the league. We got into some hard truths. The things NBA fans don't always want to hear. The league isn't perfect. The narratives we buy into, the players we prop up, the flaws we ignore. Sometimes the truth stings a little. But hey, that's what we do here. We say the quiet parts out loud with love for the game that keeps us coming back. And of course, we talked about the noise, that constant hum of the NBA machine that sometimes drowns out the music. But through it all, the game keeps evolving faster, louder, smarter, maybe a little messier too, maybe. And honestly, I don't know. That's what makes it beautiful. Anyway, you know where to find us. We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok. We're on X, formerly known as Twitter. People still say tweet. I know Elon doesn't like that. But
I'm tweeting.
You tweeting. We tweet. Anyway, and we're also on YouTube. Right? So the links are all in the show notes. Hey, where can listeners find you guys? Same place as usual. Hugo, where can they find you?
You can't find me. I've been just chilling like a certain villain, cleaning up my algorithms.
Doing a terrible job, bro.
I know. No. I don't. I mean, the AI stuff was a little bit of a thing. I still liked the Queen there talking like one of those British gangster YNs out there. But no, I'm just chilling, just family, kids, life. It is what it is.
Yeah, and Mitch, where can they find you?
I am no longer writing for Raptors HQ. So now I'm cooking up a little something else. I got a podcast that I think I'm going to be debuting Q1 26.
Ooh, spicy.
More to come.
And he's like a food critic. I'm always seeing him post food.
I know.
That's just for the people now.
Can't stop liking it. Never see him eat it though.
Is that what you're looking for?
He might just be a photographer.
I know.
That's how it stays thin, man.
What's it? Those mukbang videos, whatever.
Okay, that's too far.
Yeah, chill.
Now I have to bleep that out.
What? No, it's an actual thing where you eat like a bunch of food and stuff like that.
Oh, well, yeah, but you're burying the lead. You're also like slopping it down, man. Like,
yeah.
No, pause all over this. I heard bang and slop. That's all I heard. All right, Steven, where can they find you, man?
Nah, I'm off social media, so find me when you find me.
You got them kids.
No S.
Sean, where can they find you?
Yeah, like Steven, I've gone the way of no longer being on social media. So you can't really find me there. You can find me at my house if you want to come over and hang out. You may find me watching some basketball, but if I am watching, I'll be watching my boy Josh Giddey, who's having an amazing season. He's gone from fringe all-star to probably an all-star this year. So we'll see how that goes.
All that first.
Whoa.
Sean, is he averaging over 18 or under 18?
I think by the end of the year,
12, 12, and 12.
Oh god. Oh god. Well, all I know is he's shooting 42% from the three, so I think that's the major reason why he's showing a huge improvement this year. But anyway, that's enough about Josh Giddey. Yeah, you can't find me.
Oh man, I missed this. Well, that's where you can't find these guys. So that's a big change since the last time you talked to us or you heard from us. That these guys aren't even on social anymore. But you can find Mitch soon. Q1 2026. More details to come. And if you haven't already, check out High and Low Retrospective. It's a sibling series where we rewind the clock. I said we. I mean, we, yes. But me. I rewind the clock on TV, film, music, culture that shaped us, whether it's The Cosby Show, In Living Color, I don't know, Cheers, even Atlanta. We unpack the stories that define generations with the same heart and honesty that we bring to this show. And once again, music is by Lyve of the Enjoy Music Group. You can find Lyve on X and on Instagram at LYVE.
Wait. One thing we forgot to say was the last time we did this podcast, Diddy wasn't in jail. Puff Daddy
Nobody forgot
arrested.
to say that.
He's in jail. He's been in jail. And we didn't drop one Diddy line. That's crazy.
Well, you just did. Diddy's in jail.
Locked up.
This is a Vonn Abraham podcast, just in case you didn't know. On behalf of these guys, I'm Ike Amaechi. Thank you for listening to the High and Low NBA show. And we'll talk to you soon. Let's just say that. We'll talk to you soon.
He's going to say it.
Mitch has a therapy session.